dance before you. Hallelujah. Yeah. Come on, everybody find some space. Let the dance of the Lord, let it rise among us. We need a dance before him. Come on and dance before him. Let the dance. Yeah. Let it rise. Let it rise. Oh, oh, oh. Let it rise.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Hello.
Live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hey, what's up, Emily?
What's up?
What's up? Deacon Duran picture ain't on that, but he here on time, but he been walking kind of limping, talking about how bad his back hurts. He fell on the floor. It's your tail, but see,
What did you do, fall?
Don't say that.
Oh, how'd you fall?
I had some wet water and I flew in the air, and
He fell.
It was in slow motion.
Yeah, okay.
And I tried to brace myself, and I put my hand down, and he hit the water and slipped, and I went directly, But I think that most men who are people who are my age wouldn't be able to recover as I did because I'm made out of good stuff.
But you know what that mean?
I came from good stock.
You know what?
Lies you tell.
You know what? I've already got in trouble, and I'm trying to do right. See, I'm trying to do right. And what would you look at him? Maybe he just, you know what? We got to get it going this morning, this afternoon. So what we've got to do though? Oh, somebody's got some back play up in here. What's up with that?
The one that came in late.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Do not do me today. I am here before everybody.
We've got a call already.
All right. Let me see. Hello, caller. Hello. How are you? Hello, caller. Can you hear me?
All right, we're going to hang her up and try. Hopefully she'll call back.
Yeah, call us back at 478-750-1444. Please join the conversation with these two wonderful queens that I am so very honored to be here with today.
Well,
isn't that nice?
Yes.
He's being on his best behavior because we had the principal is here today. So we got to be on our best behavior.
I'm serious. You know, I looked out there and I was like, oh, it's the FCC police.
Yeah, their fingers are on the button.
I mean, they like sitting out there. I was like, both of them, not just one, not the bishop. It wasn't just the bishop.
Yeah.
It's the bishop and the bishop person over there.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Like the aid or something?
The whole church is here.
because they said I was bad and I apologized and stuff like that.
Well, you are.
I mean, they like sitting out
Yeah, she didn't realize because she meant no harm at all. And she reverted back to the days in Pleasant Hill.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
No, that okay.
We do hope everyone is doing very well, and we want to just say we hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July. We were not on the air with you, and but we hope everybody had a good time.
No. Hey.
Okay. Well, for the ones that do, we want to hopefully they had a nice cookout. I just call it the cookout day.
Yeah,
I don't call it no kind of day, and they done already got on me by saying them words and stuff. So I'm not going to say what I normally would say, but you know,
thank you. We appreciate
What is
that.
it about the 4th of July that threatens you?
I wasn't free. I wasn't free on the 4th of July. My folk was not free. They were still out there working in the field.
And you weren't here on the 4th of July back
But
then,
I was thought about, and their blood is still in me too.
Yeah, we know.
Both sides.
That's that mulatto.
Both sides.
That's what she.
Listen, I just want to give a big shout out to Attorney Henry E. Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Big
shout out.
Big
Sponsors
hand.
the show, and we're very thankful to him.
Yes.
You know, I also want them to hit the share button.
Yeah, please hit the share button.
Mm-hmm.
And what share button is that?
The share button that's on the Glory station.
980.
Now,
Their
107.
Facebook page is the Glory 107.9 FM Middle Georgia Gospel. Okay, again, the Glory 107.9 FM Middle Georgia Gospel. That is their Facebook page. If you go there, you'll catch us live right now. I've shared it to my page. I've shared it to Johnny Deacon Durong's page, and we don't know because Brenda is her technology.
Yeah, we have no idea what Brenda's
if you would like
at.
to watch us live right now, you can go to either one of our page and click on, and you can share it so others can watch it as well.
And then you know what? I want them to pick up their cell phone if they just ride in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want us to turn it on.
Mhm.
They just need to turn on 107.9
Okay.
FM.
And they can call in, and the call-in number is 478-250.
No, 750. Is it 25 or
No,
75?
it's 250.
It's 250.
250.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I did that so we can make sure people understood what it was.
Okay, 478-250-1444.
Yeah, you know what? I got on a Facebook thing earlier. I think I was giving out the wrong number.
And
I
you
probably was
were.
saying 7, but let's go back, and for all of our educated people, we're doing numbers. It is not 107. It's 107. Point.
You know what you need to do. You know what, I ain't thinking about you. I just want to let you know that our numbers are up, Emily. Our numbers are up.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We had 6,400 listeners.
Thank you,
last
everyone.
week.
Thank you, everyone. And please, if you're listening now, please get someone else to listen and tune in.
But they just need to like our page.
Like the page, everybody.
Like our link. If you're on Facebook, just like us. Just hit the little like button. All my friends out there, I need y'all to like us.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, because we work hard on it.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
again, we need you to share. That helps our advertiser, Mr. Williams, because I have to go home and face Mr. Hen.
Well, you know what you do when you go home, so
I had to face Mr. Hen. He
keep them
said,
happy.
well, and he'll say something, like, how many people did y'all have? And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, if I don't give him a good number, you know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's practical.
Right.
So
It's fair.
we're really working on that. So I just want to,
In the world.
you know what, Mr. Johnny, tell us about that backpack blessing you got going on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Macon, Georgia, this Saturday, there's going to be a very special event for our children. If anybody knows me, I've been involved with the kids in our community forever. And we're going to be sponsoring the Power of Life group that I'm a board member of and member of. We go around the country, really been concentrating this past year on the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, taking masks, and the cities have been cooperating with us and allowing us to have food to give to the citizens of whatever city that we've been in. The last city that we were in was Birmingham, Alabama. And I hope that we're going to have a special guest on a little bit later. That is the president and director of the Power of Life Foundation, Lane Harper, who is Birmingham's top cop. He's also an adjunct professor at Princeton University. His dad is a Supreme Court justice in Connecticut, so he comes from good stock. And then Teresa Berger, who is also a partner, and she works in administration at FAMU. As a matter of fact, they were trying to register some students today, so she's had a hectic day. So we hope that we'll be hearing from them about 5:45. But here in Macon at the Tubman Museum, this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 1, we're going to be giving out face masks, and hopefully we'll be giving out some food, but we're certainly going to be giving out some backpacks, and school supplies for our children here in this community.
Okay, and what time will you be doing that?
10 a.m. until 1 p.m.
10 until 1. Free backpacks.
People sounded fancy, didn't it?
Yeah, I know it. He was just
fancy
like
people.
He was so property too. He went in. He was so proper when he started talking about the backpack.
Yeah, that was my radio voice.
That's what it is.
Yes.
I thought it was your in pain voice.
I am in pain, believe it. And I know after sitting here an hour, when I stand up, it's going to be kind of rough.
You know, Emily.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on with the Naturalista, because you know what, you've been having some pretty pictures and stuff up in there. And, you know, I've been rubbing my feet and stuff with that natural cream that you got. What is that little butter stuff that you got?
It's called Whipped Body Mousse. Listen, you can tell my hands. I have literally ran over here. I'm normally here before everybody. I normally beat everybody here. I was working, making product today, and I literally left my shop at 5:16. That's how quickly I flew down here.
And where you came from, Warner Robins?
Of course not. I came from a Macon store.
And that location is?
2367 Ingleside Avenue. And then our Warner Robins store is 6009 Watson Boulevard.
But the Macon address again is?
2367 Ingleside Avenue. That's 2367 Ingleside Avenue.
So I'm just giving all the sheriffs a bit kind of heads up. So on Mondays around 5:15, you can catch Emily speeding towards the radio station. So if you need to, if you need to make a bonus.
Actually, no, because I'm always the first one here. It was just today I had to get stuff done.
If you need to make a bonus, just be parked right at the edge of Ingleside.
See, you just have to have good people in your corner.
You know what? I don't know why Deacon do wrong. I don't know why he trying to throw shade on me.
I think Deacon, he wouldn't spit on me if I was on fire.
I don't know what he be doing, but
my mom told me don't ever spit on anybody. So burn, baby, burn.
So today's topic. Thank you, Miss Shirley Lester. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Miss Shirley didn't throw some shade on me. Talking about it's not it's a number. It's not it's a number. She didn't got me. It looked the same, Miss Shirley. A Z.
Miss Shirley is correct. It is a 0.
I know Miss Shirley, she got it going on, but you know, I grew up with 30861. That was my phone number, 7430861, Miss Shirley. That's how my mama taught me. You may want to go after Berina on this one because my mama taught me 300. And I was, at least it looked the same. You know, it's just.
And you know, and that's what opened the door for Kamala Harris. It could have been you, but you just wouldn't say 0.
What you mean? What?
You could have been the vice president.
And today's topic. So on another note, today's topic, toxic relationships. So we're talking about toxic family and toxic relationships. So this is a loaded topic.
It is loaded. And you know what? We won't be able to do it like in an hour, you know. But, you know, I got some people in my family that ain't right. You know, And you know, it's hard when it's your family people that are being dirty and low down because what you supposed to say to them? Because you didn't choose them. What you going to do, not see them?
Right. Well, you know, there's a new culture. This is real talk. There's a new culture that allows, that almost like gives you permission to walk away from toxic family members.
Oh, man. But y'all don't know, Emily's mama just came in here.
That's a bit much now.
I guess she put a muzzle on your mouth, Emily. She just, what's this new concept you talking about, Emily?
No, I'm saying like generally the culture now is accepted. Like it is okay to walk away from toxic family members. You know, for centuries, we have always been taught, you know, family, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You you accept it, you put up with it because they're family, you deal with it because they're family. And you know, and so now it's more generally accepted to not put yourself through that. It's like mental health, really, at the end of the day.
It is.
And why subject yourself to unhealthy relationships, whether it's your family member, whether it's your friend? You have to learn that it is okay to not have that toxic energy in your life. And I think the hardest thing, I mean, most of us can walk away from a friend that's not a good person that's not treating us right. I think the hardest thing is to walk away from a toxic family member or to distance yourself. That doesn't mean that you don't have to communicate with that person anymore. It just means that you have to create a safe space for you to where you're not allowing that toxic energy to affect your day-to-day living.
Well,
and it's hard to do when it's family.
It is, especially when it's like a sibling or like your cousin or whatever. It can be really, really toxic. When I think about one of the environments that bring out true toxicity, as far as I'm concerned, is funerals. The passing of a loved one, that tends to bring out the worst in people. And I know that people are grieving and stuff like that, but man, that can be really, really challenging and really push your nerves, but you're not able to separate, in those particular types of situations. So I guess, you just have to kind of figure out, what a way for you to remain sane.
Right.
And grounded. And then, as you say, put some distance between yourself and that particular individual, because, how else can you make it?
And why do you think that is, Johnny? Let me ask you this. Why do you think funerals bring out the absolute worst in family members? Thankfully, I've never had to deal with that, but I've seen it in my family plenty of times. And you just wonder why, why does that bring out? What do you think about that, Johnny? Why do it's like when people die, they just act insane,
like they lost their mind?
I don't know. I think that it is certainly. I think it just has to do with the relationships. I just think that people. That's kind of hard for me to answer without folks getting mad with me.
Well, you know what? And that's the problem. It is hard because we don't want to call our family out. But you know what? I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Because I work in an environment that I deal a lot with probate. So I'm not talking about any particular family member or anything. I'm just talking straight, for people that don't know, I'm the director of mediation for the House and Macon Judicial Circuit. And then not only that, I will help Henry with different probate cases. So a lot of times the probate, just dealing with the probate cases, I will see all of this. And typically, and this is real, real ugly now, but a lot of it centers around money. And it's about, did she get this or did she get that? Or did mama leave her this or did daddy leave her that? And why did daddy leave her this and mama leave her that? And so it really brings up a lot of old wounds. And so the toxicity really is started when these children were like kids. And so it kind of spills over into their adult life. So you were talking about family. That was the thing that came to my mind was funerals, holidays. Can you imagine how when you got toxic stuff going on, Thanksgiving and all of that, and you got to sit down at the table and try to eat with these crazy people?
So do you think it's a good idea? I mean, when there's a situation like that and somebody's grieving over a death or a loved one, would it be good to bring in a psychologist, a therapist or something like that? Because I've seen it. And even with my husband's people there, all the way in Chicago, and I had just never seen anything like that, like just angry and people grieve, and you understand that people grieve and everybody grieves differently, right? But you just wonder, why are you upset?
Well, a lot of times, I don't know why Lane and Teresa hasn't been able to zoom in. Well, their Lane is.
Can you see me?
Can you hear us?
Oh, we got somebody on.
Awesome. This is Lane Harper, who is the president and founder of the Power of Life Foundation, top cop in Birmingham, and an adjunct professor and for Princeton University, and he is the head of the group that's going to be coming here this weekend to bring free backpacks and school supplies and that kind of thing. Lane, are you still with us?
Okay, I can hear you now, Johnny.
Okay, well, you're here on air with Emily Amos and Brenda Sutton, and we were looking forward to you calling in and sharing a little bit about the Power of Life Foundation and the excitement about being here in Macon, Georgia this weekend.
Well, I would love to
So
speak
we're
on that. Your
switching.
topic of discussion was so interesting. I was about to chime in on that.
But then why don't you just chime
Yeah,
in on
chime
it? Chime
in,
in.
right.
Look at the more the merrier. We love it. To help us out because we know you got the background. Aren't you the police?
Yes.
I think
All right,
so.
then come
Just
on and tell me
today,
because you the popo. You know what's going on with that. Come on with it.
I was just thinking, the tension at funerals is not so much that we're looking at individual family members, but we're not just burying someone. We're burying longevities. We're burying history with family members.
We lost
we
Lane.
lost him.
We
And
lost.
there's Teresa. She's on camera as well.
Hey, Teresa, how are you?
She's
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
in administration down at FAMU University.
She's a rattler.
Oh my God! Don't start there, Brenda.
Yes.
You know, the March of 100. You know, but you know, that is a. You know, I'm glad that he put that in about the burial of that. Or do you have time, or you just got to roll out of here, or Teresa?
Oh no, I'm good until 7. I'm fine.
Oh, well, then you just okay. Can do you want to hang in here with us until maybe at the end and we can promote these backpacks some more?
Sure, why not?
So, did you hear the subject matter that we have?
I did, and as if I can jump in, as someone who has lost both parents, and my siblings acted totally crazy.
Wow.
It comes from grief.
Really?
Grief when you feel like you got a hole in you. You feel like you lost your whole soul, and you was like everything that you were wanted to do, that you were ashamed to do, and that you were ashamed to say because your parents said that's not what we do in this family. They're gone. Now I can cuss you and say all the things I really wanted to say all my life. So, but grief, people, grief is displayed in different ways with different people. And I'll say it's the degree of pain that you have to go through that makes you act a certain way.
Can
So
you hear me, Teresa?
I can hear you now.
Can I piggyback on what Teresa just stated?
Sure.
Okay, the pain is just like life lessons. You've been with someone for so many years. You have outside family members. And when you marry someone, you're actually marrying all their family because their upbringing versus your family upbringing. And you have two different sides of families coming together. And every family has just that side of the story of what actually transpired through the entire relationship. So when you have a coming together, this family only knows you for what they've heard about you. And the other side only knows you for what they've heard about you. But nobody knows the actual truth because we weren't in that household. So you have feelings that are expressed through emotion, and we're very emotional. And sometimes our emotions are not attached to the actual situation. We're just dealing with the incident. And then you have a lot of incidents and deaths that may not just be natural. There might be a cause of death. And sometimes we place blame on other family members that cause that death to happen, such as a shooting or a stabbing or a heart attack. They'll want to tend to blame others for putting that pressure on someone for them to end up in that predicament.
Right. Y'all excuse that. Brenda is back. I'm not there today, so Brenda is back over there in her usual spot. So if you hear the phone ringing or beeps or dings, that is
It's Brenda.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a novice over there. She's trying.
Right.
But I saw that one of the comments you talked about was control over family affairs, Lane. And I thought that was a very poignant point. That when for what Emily was talking about was what causes a lot of those arguments and those bad feelings is sometimes if it's not made clear by that person that is deceased, then who's gonna have ownership of this thing and who's gonna be in charge of this thing, that leads to a whole lot of discourse, you know. Yeah.
Right, because we have family members that want to be in charge. We have first of kin that would like to be in charge. And then we have the paperwork that was stated that it was filled out, but nobody can find that attorney where that actual paperwork was done. Or are we in a relationship that has expired and we used to be married and shared a house together, Whoever resides in the house, is it their family who takes on, or did the two people that divorce have an agreement in their divorce decree, or did they just get a divorce? So there's so many different ways to look at it. It's just
For
crazy.
me, it goes to the hurt. I'll give you a fine example. My dad left a will, and the person he left in charge of the will was my brother. And my brother was supposed to split everything equitably. That wasn't left in the will. For my kids, I have everybody with a percentage. My dad didn't do that. He entrusted it to my brother to do it. And because my brother felt like for the last year he had been taking care of him, he deserved everything and didn't want to give to anyone else.
Wow.
That mirrors exactly what happened with my husband's family when his mother passed away. His sister, she had a will, and the sister had been taking care of the mother for the last few years, and she felt that my husband didn't deserve what she left.
Right.
And it was just him and his sister, and she left everything half her, half to him.
Right.
And she was really, I'm talking about massively upset, to the point where she did not even give him the portion that she was supposed to give him. She split it up between her 6 children and herself and only gave him a very small amount. Now, if he didn't fight it or go to court or anything, but right, and he could have, because it was definitely in the will. But I totally can relate to you on that instance, because they do. It's like you have to think about who you're going to leave in charge, and will they do the right thing.
And
Well,
go
it
ahead.
comes to education. It comes to education as well. So most times we don't do minorities. We don't do final planning ahead of time. So when it's unexpected death, we're looking crazy. Most of us don't even have a will or a living will. So somebody to say what's going to happen to you if you're not able to say medically what I need for myself. So it's an education piece that needs to happen in the Black community. Because like I recently told a girlfriend, I said, hey, you need to put off the percentages and who you want to have that percentage. Don't just trust one person, because the pain they feel, the grief they feel. And I mean, I eventually found out that my brother felt like I took care of him for a year. He lived in my house. None of you guys were here. No one can repay me for that. So he had a personal feeling, even though he took him on, he felt he deserved to make all the decisions and do different things. What upset me the most was, they didn't even give him a headstone. So I had to go back, and me and some other family members purchase a headstone. The pain that people feel, and I don't know if you've ever felt pain, if any of you have ever had a baby, when you're mad.
Well, I haven't.
You're mad. You're a girl.
Yes,
This girl, yes.
You love that man, but right at that time, you could kill him. So it's just that pain you feel, and how people are taught to handle pain, and that is the difference. Because although the family was mad, I mean, highly upset, where they could have fought my brother, I felt like I didn't have that money before. So yeah, I mean, $50,000 would have been nice, but I didn't have it before. So it's not like I'm going to miss it. Let them have it, and that's how I felt.
I'm sorry. So do you think that lends to toxic relationships further on down the line, where it become like the Christmas dinners or family reunions, and everybody's looking at everybody sideways, and you get to the point where the energy is so toxic that you don't even want to go to any family functions anymore.
So my dad passed in 2011, and the family has been split since then. I've been doing everything I can to get the family back together, saying, the money is gone now. You spent it. You still don't have anything to show for it. The money's gone. I didn't want it anyway. I'd rather have my brother, And so I've been trying to bridge that in, even though some of the family is still mad at him. Here we are 10 years later, and they're still mad.
And that's the problem to me, is that they will stay mad. They will stay mad. We're talking years. We're talking years. At my cousin's funeral, the pastor there, he was just awesome. And I don't think he'd mind me saying Jarvis Atside. Reverend. Oh gosh, he is just really awesome. And he spoke and he said, it's time to mend things. He said, I hadn't talked to my cousin, I think it was his cousin, in 6 years. 6 years. And he just said he just started talking to him at the beginning of this year because time is short for all of that nonsense. Now, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this show today, is that if you do have a toxic relationship, a bad relationship, with it can be with a family member or with just reach out and just say hi. See, can you mend it? At least try. At least so you can talk. But I do understand that self-care, that's really important too.
Well, we got some people joining in over here. Anthony says, right, absolutely should not be left to an emotional decision. It should be decided and documented. And I can't see the rest of what he's saying, but I think he said it needs to be documented with the law and somebody there to sign for it, with an approving authority. That's what he said. And then we got Karen Collier that commented. She said, this is an important discussion. Happy to hear you all speak on this subject. And Anthony, I think he agreed with you, our guest, and said you bring an excellent point that it becomes generational. I think that was you, Brenda.
Right. And and I want to say Karen Collier, I think that Karen does financial planning. Am I correct?
Does.
Karen, are you, and would you respond in the comment section? Don't you do financial planning?
She does. She's actually one of my my financial advisors, if you will. And she's excellent at what she does.
She is excellent. And so that's a shout out to you because you do such an awesome job. But that's part of the problem to me is making sure that you have taken care of your assets. Now, I would just tell you one of the things that Henry does a lot of are wills. Henry does a lot of wills. Be sure, and I'm going to ask our engineer to be sure and to run Henry's email address at the bottom of the screen. So if you would like to have a will, email him. And she was talking about the living will. Do that. Do you know how much problems that carry in the family when you haven't taken time to do your work and you get sick? Who going to pay your bills? How you going to pay your bills? You can't do anything. You see? So, I just think that the reason why this is so important, I just know what our family has gone through when we had a funeral. And then also as a result of the relationships are just horrible. And people stop talking to each other for years.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's 20 and 30 years. Now, don't think it's just like 5 and 6. There's some sisters hadn't spoken to each other, and I don't know when.
Well, it happened when my grandmother passed away, and we were. When I tell you, thick as thieves. And when she passed away, it wasn't. I call us the kids. It wasn't the grandchildren, and we're all like my brother is in his 50s. It wasn't us. It was the elders. And I feel like when I always say the fish rots from the head, and when my grandmother passed away, when I say my family literally fell apart, they fell apart. And I was like, she was the glue that was holding everybody together, right? And so after she passed away, they started fighting amongst themselves, arguing amongst themselves. And it was so toxic to the point where we don't even get together for Christmas anymore, Thanksgiving, because...
Hello, caller.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I had the same problem you're talking about. And
oh, really?
My sibling since my mother died. So, and we still haven't talked. I tried to reach out to mend the wounds, but she don't want to. Had her daughter to call me, tell me never to ever call, never come to the house.
Wow.
Let me ask you something. From your vantage, from your point of view, from your knowledge, why do you think this exists with you?
It exists with me because me being her only son, I left out into the world and had a family. And she took care of my mother up until the day she died. And she was just respectful. I did all I could as far as helping my mother with some money, and she needed money for this or money for that. You know, I bought all the appliances in the house.
Oh, wow.
My mother never had air conditioning. She never had a color TV until I bought one.
Oh, wow.
You know, so the deep freeze in the washer and dryer, which my sister was able to use and utilize. And if anything needed to be fixed, you know, I would go over and fix it. But she resented me from birth because I thought my sister was my mama because there's a 15-year gap.
Oh, wow.
And my mother had to work. And she went to work and left me with my sister. And she resented that. So it goes all the way to that. So when my mother died,
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300 EB.
Hold on 1 second, caller. Give us 1 minute,
WDDO,
please. We're having
980
a
AM, Perry,
few technical
Macon.
difficulties here.
All right now.
Just stay with us, caller.
Stay with us. Stay with us. Call Mr. Jackson here.
Okay, and Anthony said utterly imploded, and then every one of their families also now do not communicate. Yeah,
I've
just
been
pray
through the
for
fire.
Brenda. Yeah,
I just been to the fire. I'm sorry. And this is Mr. Jackson that I just tore it up.
We love Brenda though.
I didn't do it.
You got to love her.
Hold on for a moment, please. Every now and then, you know, I'll do something. It went out. Well, you know what? We've had worse.
We having church, I guess.
Hey, I stepped in the fire, people. Oh, now are we back on?
There we go.
Caller, you still there?
I'm just turning back up. Thank you.
Okay, caller, you still there?
I am.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Some people would say, won't he do it?
I'm sorry about that. That was and thank you so much for being patient.
That was
with us.
computer malfunction.
Teresa, that was me. The computer went out and then we had to bring it back on. But we got some praise music, right? Okay, caller, tell us that was a great story. Keep on talking to me.
All right, my mother died. I went to the funeral. We went to pick out a casket for my mother.
Uh-huh.
My sister and all her children were there. All my nieces and nephews were there. And the moment I mentioned anything about the will, she became unglued. And she stormed out of there, and she left everything for me to take care of. And she left and went to New York. And wasn't even at her mama's funeral.
What you say? What you say?
And if the undertaker wasn't a friend of the family, because the friend of the family, he allowed us to continue with the funeral because she didn't sign the papers for the insurance. And she was gone, so we still had the funeral. And when she came back, she did, you know, took care of everything. It was just so sad. You know, I couldn't believe she was doing it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. That was, I mean, he's just further, you know, explaining what I'm saying. And I think the whole point of today's show, we're talking about toxic relationships, right? And when do you decide to take that person out of your life or step away from that person, whether it's a family member or a friend? Like, and I think that's where we all end up having an issue is knowing, is it okay for me to not have this person in my life because I'm stressed out every time I'm around you. There's a problem. We're fighting. We're arguing. And is it okay to step away from a family member and say, you know what? This is not healthy for my mental health, for my spiritual health, my emotional health. You are not a person that I need in my life. Like, is it okay to do that with a family member? Or, I mean, it's easy to do it for a friend, right? But how do you, I mean, it's loaded.
You know, Teresa, did you have a comment? I can't hear you. Unmute your mic. Okay, it's not giving me a sound, is it? We're working on it.
I'm
Lane,
there.
you-
I'm back.
Okay, you're
Okay,
back.
what did you say?
I had sent a message. I was just saying, um, like,
What you choose to do for the parent doesn't give you the right to forget about the other siblings.
no,
What if
because
they cannot financially afford to assist.
that's your family anyway, and
Mhm.
you're gonna do what you're gonna do for them either way. I still feel that it didn't entitle anyone to anything because,
Mhm.
like I said, my brother was a caregiver. Him and his wife, neither one of
Mhm,
them work.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
They don't work a real job, and they felt a certain kind of way. But of course, they was, my dad had full insurance. But you're asking, some of the family, which I was one of them, I'd send stuff, even though I knew my dad didn't need it. I call on a regular basis. I didn't even feel like I deserved money. I wasn't even looking for money. I just wanted him to be buried properly. I didn't care about anything else. So a lot of times when family members are the caregiver and they do provide things, like he said, his television, different things for his mother, and he fixed things around the house. I understand that. But I don't think that entitles them to everything that's left, because you're going to do that stuff for your family member anyway if it's in your heart to do that.
Mhm.
I kind of felt like he had done, he did it from his heart. But
Mhm.
what I felt like is that sister, because she couldn't have her way. And that's the problem. Is a lot of them just want their way.
Mhm.
They don't care. They just whatever. It's all about me. And that's the challenge. So
Well,
Anthony
you know
has
what?
a good point. He says, try counseling, try
Yeah.
forgiveness. Do not allow yourself or your emotional relationship to become abused.
Yeah, oftentimes too, I think that there are many situations that I've witnessed that, like sort of like what the gentleman was talking about earlier, when from what I was hearing them say, he got an air conditioner, he got a television,
he took
got
care of her.
these
Mhm.
things, he got that thing, he got that thing. But what that lended, see the way that I think that then he was not the one that was most in need when his parent died.
Wait, no,
Let me finish.
I don't believe in that right there.
Listen,
Uh-uh,
let me finish.
no.
Let's hear him out. Let's hear
Didn't
him
say
out.
I was correct. I'm just saying how people take things
Mm-mm.
and have a different vantage point of the way that they look at them.
Mhm.
Not to say that I'm right or wrong. It's just that this is how I think conflict comes. That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at that. What if that other person's vantage point was, well, you knew I was struggling, because if I wasn't struggling, then I would have gotten her an air conditioner. I would have gotten her a television. I would have gotten her these things. I couldn't do it because I was struggling. And then on the flip side of that is, like, I've noticed some dynamics in families.
Mhm.
Like I was hearing something earlier about caregiving and that kind of thing. What I learned through my own experience was I would have people all the time come tell me, man, don't you have some other brothers and a sister, and shouldn't they be coming to help you out and stuff like that? And I'm so glad that I didn't bite into what they were saying, because they were saying, well, they need to share the duty with you. They need to be doing this. All of you are their children. All of you are siblings. All of you should. But what I discovered was that everybody doesn't have the temperament to do it.
Mhm.
Like
That's it.
There are
That's it.
some siblings, it would drive them mad to have to bathe their parent.
You better say it.
And some people just can't do it. It's not because they don't love the parent. It's not because they don't love them any less than the sibling that's actually doing the physicality of it.
Mhm.
So there's a whole lot of interpretations that go on. And sometimes people mean well.
Mhm.
Like, I'm sure the people meant well when they thought that it should have been a shared responsibility. But then God gave me the insight to be able to see that, you know what? They just can't do it. And it's not because they don't love him. It's just because, and believe me, I was doing it, and there was some times I was like, Lord, please help me through, because I don't want to touch him everywhere but if you bathe him, you got to bathe him everywhere. But I would, skip over places. and
All right, Jenna, don't be giving us your secret.
But I'm just saying. And so then, and if it was that hard for me, who was the one, like, but I don't know. I just think sometimes the root of it comes from misinterpretation.
Well, it could be, but I'm going to say this from the legal part, okay? Because that's what I do. I do a lot of work with that. It seems to me there's always one in the family. Mm-hmm. There's always one to do the work, okay? And then there's always one that got their hand out. Mm-hmm. So you doing the work, you giving them the money, you taking care of mama, and then she'll take her money and give it to that other one who's sorry. I didn't say that word, FCC.
But yeah.
And
but the mama knew. See, they talk about mother wit and all that stuff. But the mama knew that this one was going to be able to make it on their own. And this one, if she don't get us with something, a helping hand, she going to go down quicker than she or he
Johnny,
might.
But that lends to those relationships. That lends to toxicity. It lends to hurt. It lends to what Teresa talking about, that pain. See, because everybody want to be treated equal. But I don't think that's possible.
That's what I'm saying. So it's about it. And a parent, I think parents, the old days, they did stuff with equity in mind. They knew that this kid over here would be able better to deal with not having a new pair of shoes than this kid would. So she didn't love that kid any less, but she knew that if I don't get this kid this thing they want, this kid's probably going to start running into the wall. Then here comes a medical expense.
But I got what you're saying. I'm just saying to you, the toxic part of the relationship is, to me, that a lot of times, I don't know if you know this, Teresa, they selfish. Some of them sisters and brothers are selfish. Yeah, Johnny, I know what you're saying, but some people will not work. They will not do. They will sit at home. They'll wait for the ones who do all the work to bring home the money and give it to them while they sit there at home and suck up air. You better watch what I'm saying.
And sometimes they hope for a family member to die so they can come up.
Oh Lord, this is morbid.
Oh Lord. But there are some people who sit around and wait. The real deal is we're talking about people toxicity and the kinds of negativity they bring into a relationship and how difficult it is. We're talking about families. We can talk about husbands and wives some other time, and boyfriend and girlfriend and things like that. But within your family, what hurts the most, Emily, it's like, to me, you expect for your family to love you. If you ain't got nobody else, you expect for your family to love you. And when your family don't love you the way that, I know they may not love me the way I think I should be loved, but at least they should be able to, we have some sort of exchange, but not sit there with their hand out like that. Now, I that kind of relationship, that's toxic to me. I have been in those type of family relationships where they waited for me like I was the mule.
Yeah, I've definitely been there in my family, 100% for sure. Do not acknowledge Johnny. We're not doing that. So I have been in that situation with my family because I already know.
I was just thinking synonyms. That's okay. You'll get that later. Okay.
I know. But I've been in that situation with my family, and it when I tell you, it became to the point where I was like, it's like something comes over you and you decide, you know what, this is not healthy for me anymore. Like I'm giving, and you give because you love, not because you feel obligated to, because you don't want to see your nieces and nephews go without. You don't want to see your sibling or your family member go without. So you do it out of that sheer love. But then you sit back and, years pass and you realize, like, and this was the kicker for me, the deal breaker for me is, you won't do the same thing for me. That's what I'm doing for you, I know for a fact you won't do for me. Okay. I know that if I asked you for $20 today, you won't give it to me. And for me, that was like my light bulb moment. And I realized, like, this is toxic. This is not healthy for me, because I feel like I'm giving. And my late dear best friend, Beverly Pitts, told me something. I was in my 20s, right? And she told me that every relationship, whether it's a family member or a friend, husband, whatever, she said, every relationship has to be balanced. And I didn't really understand it then because I think I was maybe 24, 25, something like that. And I got it as I got a little bit older. I'm like, okay, I get what she meant by every relationship has to be balanced. And she was like, if you're giving more than that person is giving to you, then the relationship is not balanced. And it doesn't matter who it is. It should always be balanced.
So then sometimes it comes down to then what do we determine that is valuable? So is the air conditioner and the television more valuable than giving up your life and sitting there day after day after day after day after day after day after day and can't sleep well because you like, did they breathe wrong? Did they fall out the bed?
No. That's balance. That's balance.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. What is more valuable?
No, it's not. It's not.
So then when the death comes and the splitting of the money comes, then why do you put more value on the money? Listen, see, actually, I hear what you're saying. Is it more valuable for stuff or for time? That's you can't assess that. That's a perception.
Yeah,
it's a perception. I do for my mama because I love her. My mama just is sweet. My mama. Okay, and I give her time, I give her money, and we all do that. And so, but there's not one that's any more important. I'm talking about the ones that sit around the house and suck up air and don't.
No, I'm talking about the ones who, if they were the caregiver, you're not going to compare a television.
No, but
to caregiving. Not in my life.
But that's not. See, that depends on that other person. That's a perception thing still, Johnny. Johnny, it's a perception because you're putting a value on a thing and time. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm just saying that the caregiving itself is priceless.
I got that. But and also when I pay half that rent, okay, that's priceless. Because if I don't pay part of that rent, then mama can't be in that house while she's taking care of, when my brother Alfonso was living, I paid certain bills for him, like his phone bill. Why? Because my brother was always there for my mother. So I would make sure that he always had a good phone. And then I would put money in his pocket and stuff, not to try to pay him for what he was doing, but to say thank you for taking care of mama for me because I was working. So it just depends. It's a give and take. It really is. It's an exchange.
I agree with that.
Teresa, did you say something? Because I'm seeing your face up here and I'm reading your face. Did you want to say something?
I'm just listening.
You're just listening. So I got what you're saying about that's a value system. It just depends.
I'm saying, and to me, that's what the toxic relationships come from. It comes from their value system.
So resentment.
The resentment to me comes, what I resent is not necessarily doing the giving part or whatever. I resent when you sitting up in there and you do nothing. You don't take mama to the doctor. You don't do nothing.
But I ain't got no car.
But if you ain't got no car, then you better figure out a way to do something. You do everything else you want to do.
Boom.
Now that's pretty much where I come from. Anything when you want to go to the club, or go out with your girlfriend or with your boys or whatever like that, you find a way. If you can find a way to do all those other extracurricular activities that you truly, truly enjoy, then yes, you can find the same kind of resources that you did for that. You can find those resources for mama. And that's how I feel.
I understand.
So I ain't giving that up. No.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like I said at the beginning of the show, the hardest thing is with family. I think friends and, it's easy to walk away from them. But when it's family, it's almost like you have this subconscious obligation.
Well, like they say, you didn't choose. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Right.
And that's what I'm, and I'm glad you brought this up. I didn't know it was such a sticky subject with me, but it is, because I'm like, it just bothers me when people sit around, and I can't say the words because the FCC police out there, just waiting on the one. And let me just tell you this while I'm at it. It's not fair for the people in the family to think just because you have resources, they entitled to it. Okay. Now that's some of the
toxic
resentment right there.
behavior.
That's toxic because I go to work and I worked hard and got my degrees and things like that. And then, I live over here, I do this. And so you think you're supposed to be in my pocketbook? You're not supposed to do that. That's toxic too. And that's what we're talking about, balance, because I don't care if you don't have any money. As long as you're doing your part, they ain't got nothing to do with it. We make money if that's what it is. But I would really like the support. Can you help? Can you help out? Can you do these kinds of things? Can you be there? Can you be present? What did I miss something? Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. You're not.
We on the air a long time. What?
Look, listen. This has been a very intriguing and exciting conversation today, and I'm sure we're going to revisit this subject matter again.
We're going to have to do it on relationships. The next time when we talk about men and women.
But look, I got a couple of things going on this weekend. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you know about stained glass. Pilar Wilder and Haya Dance Theater. We're going to be doing that production at Wesleyan College this Saturday evening. Absolutely. One of my ex-students. And so we're going to be doing that show later that evening. And then I want everybody to know Grant's Lounge is really a melting pot of making.
Really? Is it open back?
It's beautiful aesthetically inside.
Really?
You got to come see it. It is absolutely beautiful.
So when do they have the free night to
go out? Wednesday night, I'm doing jam sessions. So from 9 p.m. to 12, everybody come on down. Watch all these wonderfully talented people at Historic Grant's Lounge. If you've not, it is absolutely beautiful inside. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on, since we've got these guests on Zoom with us, is we're going to have a free a backpack and school supplies and free masks because COVID is still alive and well. And we're going to be doing an event at the Tubman Museum here in Macon, Georgia. It's going to be on Saturday, July 10th. Teresa, can you hear me? Lane, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you just talk about what Power of Life does? We got a couple of minutes here left.
Yeah, the Power of Life, we're just here to come back and save Macon. We're trying to take one city at a time, protecting us from COVID. Like Johnny said, it's still here. It's not gone. So please don't let the media fool you. So we're giving a free backpack, back to school giveaway, along with face masks, school supplies, and other goodies. But we got to keep those a secret. Teresa, you want to elaborate?
Yes, so we have a lot of treats for the kids from local vendors there in Macon. We're very excited about it. We're still accepting supplies at the Tubman, backpacks, school supplies. We're going to give out every single thing that we get. If you want to donate money, we have a link on our website, thepoweroflifefoundation.com, or you can cash up us at POL Foundation.
All right. Now, you know what? We want to make sure that you send us that information so that we can run it on our Facebook page and everything. I want to say I got some backpacks at home. Do they have to be clear? Or can they just be backpack? I've got some, I bought some extras. I think some jam packs or something like that. I don't know.
Backpacks.
Okay. Backpack is the backpack. Okay. All right.
Clear, mesh, or color.
Okay. All right. I think I have a couple at home. I will look in the closet and see if I have some, but I'm almost positive that I do. Really awesome. Nice ones that I bought, when they were on sale and things like that. But they were good. I mean, they're like great backpacks, and so you can have them.
We need to thank everybody too. We thank Anthony, thank Teresa, thank Shirley, everybody that's commented
and
today,
Karen
that's listening.
Well.
And Karen,
yes.
Thank you, Karen. You did, you just contributed so well. We just appreciate you so much. And then even Teresa, you was like, you shared yourself. You gave a little, and we so appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, that's my sis right there. We just another side note, Lane Hopper and Teresa were both in the stage play that we traveled the country with, Justice on Trial, and both are in the movie playing on Amazon right now called Justice on Trial, the movie, and it is about reparations. Officer Lane Harper plays Medgar Evers.
Really?
Yes, and Teresa in the movie is the stenographer, and in the play she is one of the jurors, one of the really energy filled jurors in the stage play. So they're both talented people, and they're both 100% community minded people, and we just operate, basically the Power of Life operates on love.
You know, I really appreciate you all sharing. In fact, I wish you'd come back. You know, I mentioned to Johnny that he wanted to do some, have someone come out talk about the COVID. I think it was a variant D. I think is what
Delta variant.
All right, there is a doctor which I'll get in contact with at Mercer University that is doing some work with that, and she's just really dynamic.
Awesome.
And I'll see if I can get her to come on next week to talk about COVID.
And we're going to have to manually close out the show today because it is lightning. For those of you that are watching and listening that don't know, it is storming outside. So, we're going to have to tell everybody bye.
Okay.
And yes, we only have about 20 seconds left. And so, again, we want to thank Attorney Henry Williams for sponsoring our show.
Begin.
Of course, thank Deacon Do Wrong for, his wonderful input.
Hey, listen, y'all call me, get on Facebook, and let me know if y'all want to do some stuff. Goodbye, and thank you so much. And pray for Emily Amos that she does not get a speeding ticket coming from Naturalista on Ingleside about 5:15 p.m. every Monday.
Peace. And bring the book bags. Donate this Saturday. Bring the book bags.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We ain't got a radio thing on yet. Oh, that you're still on the air.
She's always.
You got a hot mic.
Oh.
For it is written, he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee. Luke 4:10. Let's go. I got angels watching over me. I got. Yeah. Covered in the blood of Jesus. Born in the city of angels, where Satan be scheming your weakness in. Ready to wrangle and tangle you with demons that seething. To mangle and strangle your believing, deceiving and reaving. Leaving you grieving the legion of treason. The reason he competing and cheating, deleting your faith. Leaving you wraith, leaving you draped, completely reshaped, undermining your base. Yeah, the message is clear. God is always near when you're faced with that desire. God is always here when you're walking with the fire. Stay walking with no fear, stay praying with no fear. He got you. Angels and saints, when you giving them thanks, can pull you through the deepest waters. Safe to the base, can rise above the evil martyrs who don't bother to blink or bother to think. Trying to slaughter my ink. He gave us son, who gave us life, who gave us love, who gave us light. That made us whole and made us right. That made us whole and made us right. Christ, angels. I got angels watching over me. I got angels, yeah, everywhere we go. Angels watch our back. We live in tough times. Religious freedoms are under attack. We thundering back through all of the black, through all of the flat. No rolling us back. We strong. Our elite purpose when we worship is to keep churching. Cause the street circus that seek curses will keep hurting. Causing you drama. Mixed with the Brahma. Hot as the sauna. Let go of the trauma. We save. Speak his names. Let his deeds be known. It's no shame. I'ma claim with the preacher's tone. With my sneakers on. Till the speakers blown. Yeah, together we rise, united we fly. No need to silently cry, divided we die. God is the eye, God is the keys, watching over me.